Hello, everyone. Benjamin Lindsay here, managing editor at Backstage. It is 3 p.m. Eastern, and if you've been paying attention to our schedule on the slate, you know what that means. We are going live with actor Alan Tudyk. Very excited to be picking his brain today on his new sci-fi series, Resident Alien, and of course, just his varied and wonderful career on screen, voiceover, stage, you name it, he's done it. So just going to check our guest list here and see if he's in the audience yet and invite him to join me. Alan, I see you here. So 1 second. We should be good to go. Hello, Alan.
All right. Do I do that? Or do I do it the other way?
Other way is good. Yeah, there you go.
Look, I'm just going to hold it. There we go.
You're fine. You're fine. Perfect. It's good to see you. How are you?
Good.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good. I'm Ben Lindsay, managing editor here at Backstage. Really been looking forward to speaking with you, though. This new series is so much fun, and obviously you have such an awesome acting career in all mediums. So welcome. Thanks for joining us.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. And by absolute coincidence, we actually just had your co-star Gina Torres join us for this feature just last week.
Really?
Yeah. She was sitting with me and our editor-in-chief, Brianna Rodriguez, just a handful of days ago. And then I looked at the schedule, and here you are. It's a nice coincidence.
We used to be married until I died.
Yes.
Unexpectedly. But
yeah. Often the case. Too often the case. But how have you been holding up these past few months, coming on a year? Is it the new normal yet in the acting world? Are you getting used to the new protocols on set and whatnot?
I mean, when you're on set, it's kind of the best place to be.
Yeah.
Because you're getting tested 3 times a week. You have a bunch of people looking out for you. You know, they have to take it really seriously, because if you mess up, then it's millions and millions of dollars for the company.
Right.
And which is almost more important than human life. So they're really, really keen on making sure you stay well. And everybody is very respectful of one another, because, you know, when you screw up, it really hurts the whole project. It hurts a lot of people at once. So you're forced to be considerate, which, so in that way, which is good in that way.
Yeah.
I do miss people. I miss interactions like everybody.
Oh, absolutely. I'm still, we've been running this on camera series since March, and I mean, it's great to sit here with you, but to have that in-person interaction is definitely something greatly missed. But glad to see that otherwise you've been staying well, keeping busy, and everything's good. Now you of course have this new series on Syfy coming, Resident Alien. For our audience today, how about we just start? You tell us a bit about your character, Harry, and the situation that he and this little town find themselves in.
Okay. Harry Vanderspeigle is an alien. He wasn't an alien. He was just some guy who was a doctor who was on vacation at his cabin in a small town in Colorado. But an alien crash lands, accidentally crashes his spaceship. He was on his way to the Earth to destroy all human life, and gets hit by lightning, crashes the spaceship. This alien seeks shelter in that cabin, same cabin as Harry Vanderspeigle, and kills him a little bit, and then takes his he kills him a lot. He's dead. So Harry's dead, and then the alien takes his form, and he now becomes Harry Vanderspeigle, and he gets pulled into this little town when they need help. They need a doctor's help in doing an autopsy, because their doctor was murdered.
Right. Gets wrapped up in a murder mystery to top it all off, as if the premise wasn't interesting enough.
Right.
He gets pulled into a murder mystery. So what is the first thing that you think when you're presented with a character like this? Obviously, there's so many fun layers to him. So how do you kind of start digging away and finding your way in?
I just immediately, when I first read it, I got excited about the idea of, in the beginning, where he's learning to use his body, learning how to manipulate the physical form that he's now taken on. That was exciting to me. It's similar to other roles I've played in a way. I've played robots before that they move ergonomically. They're, their form is being manipulated with the most efficiency, and I think that's what he's working towards, but he's bad at it in the beginning. That was exciting to me. And then I also did a play in 1998, I think, 98, somewhere in there, late 1900s, where I played Adam in Paul Rudnick's Most Fabulous Story Ever Told. And there was a little bit of that same thing about what is that? What are all of these things?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but good. Can I name it? Can I do that? It has that same thing where he's born brand new into this world in a way. He brings all of his experience, but that doesn't help him so much.
Yeah.
He's a very intelligent being, but he's very stupid about humans. So that kind of ignorant curiosity was exciting. Just using the body like a machine, forming words in the proper way, that there can be fun in that, just it's somewhat theatrical in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it requires a very specific set of acting skills. I feel like the Backstage audience today, the people joining us, a lot of us are working actors, know the craft, know how to build a character. So we're going to dig into that a little bit.
Okay.
I feel like actors are always told from the get to find what makes them unique, bring that to the table, and that's kind of the sweet spot. And you have always honed such a elasticity on screen that not a lot of actors possess. I feel like this role is perfect in your hands because it kind of puts all those things to use. At what point did you realize that you had that elasticity and that that's what you were going to kind of be pursuing, the kind of roles that were good for you?
I guess early on, my first play I played 25 roles. To really get an accurate count on that. It was like 25 little roles in a play, a 3-person play. They played 2 roles throughout the play, and I played all the people around them. So I come on as some French person who did this, and then I was a woman who's upset, a friend of Gilda Radner, who just lost her boyfriend, and then somebody else, and different costumes, different wigs, different. Oh, it was so much fun. So that's how I got my start in the New York theater, and it really set the stage for what my career would become, because I played a lot of little, very different roles. I think the higher stakes in comedy, I've always noticed, are can add more humor, but also I'm a pretty expressive guy. I'm loud in places that are inappropriate. I don't. When I feel something, I feel it intensely, and so I bring that to the roles I play as well. And it's good to get a role that, like Harry, who doesn't understand when it's inappropriate to be loud or quiet, because that's just natural to me.
Fair enough. And when it comes to these varied characters, is there any through line? Is there anything that you look for as a way in? You either find something that's inner contradiction or anything interesting to sink your teeth into, even with just little bit characters that you might have done on stage 30 years ago.
God, these words you're using, I feel like I don't know enough about acting. I'm rereading Uta Hagen right now. I am. She's so fantastic. There's some great, since there's a lot of actors on here, there's great classes, Uta Hagen classes, like scene study classes that are on YouTube that you can just watch if anybody who doesn't know that.
And what's bringing you back to Uta Hagen now? Why are you reading?
I don't know. I'm turning 50. It's been so long. I went to Juilliard when I was 23. So damn, that's a while ago. And I used to come back when I would act. I felt like if you spent too much time in Hollywood, you'd lose your ability to be a good actor.
Mm.
I considered a good actor because you would hear about like Al Pacino when he was young, he did certain things on stage, and then he went away to Hollywood, and then he came back to do a stage play, and he was terrible. He was too quiet. He didn't know how to do it anymore. And I remember thinking, I can't do that. I have to keep coming back to the theater every couple of years and do a play to reteach myself how to act, because you have one story that you're telling over and over again, and you get to you learn those lessons all over again. Well, it's been, I guess I did a play now. I did one at I'm writing something where there's a Bilgewater Theater. I have not worked at the Bilgewater Theater. The Geffen in LA. And so I did one not too long ago. But I feel like I've lost touch with theater. I've lost touch with my process a little bit. I don't know. I'm just rereading Uta Hagen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worth revisiting and to keep those tools sharpened.
Yeah.
And in terms of losing touch, as a fan and viewer, I would say that it's imperceptible to anyone other than yourself. But it's good to hear that you can still revisit it and you can still find new things along the way.
I love acting. I love actors. I love watching great acting. There's so many good actors now. I mean, there's so much content. Is there any lamer word than that? Content.
And it's just something drummed up in the last handful of years. Content. It's all digital. It's all, It's
terrible. It's such it's like a marketing word. What do you do? I'm a content provider. I mean, like, how far is that from I'm an artist?
Yeah.
I fill empty spaces with stuff.
Right. I hear you. Well, speaking of great actors, let's bring it back to this Resident Alien ensemble. I feel like you're sharing the screen with so many great people, and obviously you're giving them a lot to play off of. What's your favorite thing about working in kind of an ensemble-driven piece like this, where everyone has their part, everyone keeps the machine and the cogs turning?
It's always great to. I mean, it's great to work with new people. I especially when they're good, and they are really good. Everybody has a different process, as always, but it's almost like a different style. There's a Sarah Tomko who's in this, who plays Asta, who's the first person my character gets to know. Mm-hmm. She's someone in town, and we become friends. Sarah has such an ease with her acting. It's amazing to watch. Like, she can say many things that I could not say, and I'll believe her that it's true. Like, she has an ease with things. It just comes off really believable and genuine, mm-hmm. Honest. Just a natural honesty. Alice Wetterland, who plays Darcy, another local person I meet early on, who plays a bartender, has a great arc through this. She's originally a comedian, and her process is completely different. She does a lot of improv on set. She'll take the lines, and then she does versions of them again in multiple takes. And her character, that's her process, but it's great. It's great on screen. It's great to watch. It's fun to play with because it's always something new. Mm-hmm. It's tricky. I'm not very aware of other actors. Like, I've also worked with people who don't know how to improv.
Not as fun.
It's tricky. I don't want to just give a big old stamp of, hey, improv your ass off. That's fun, because it can be a problem.
Yeah.
I spent an extra few weeks in Eastern Europe shooting a film one time because somebody kept improving. It was like, we gotta get our days, man. None of this is useful. None of this will end up in the film. Like, if it improvs towards the storyline that you're telling, if you're helping the story, if you're still on the same page as everybody else. Some people improv and they go whoop, and they go over there and like, look at me, I'm being funny.
Make a little too much their own. I hear you.
Everybody, there's just everybody in this is is fantastic. I enjoy everybody's work, and I think that people who watch it, who like seeing new people they don't know, they're going to really like this, because there's a few faces they might not have seen before. And Elizabeth Bowen, who's a Vancouver native. I live here in Vancouver now. She's hysterical. She's a very funny person. And she's got a lot of little roles and a lot of different projects going on right now. And this one, I think, is her best. So I can't wait for people to see her and see her arc. She's one of those actors that can have like 3 lines and be completely memorable. Great.
We'll be keeping an eye on her, certainly. Well, kind of in line with that, then, again, just to wrap things up here backstage with the working audience, you're talking about working with actors, standout actors who we might not be familiar with earlier on in their career. What's one piece of advice that you would give your younger self when you were getting your start? Something for our audience out there that you wish you knew back in the day.
Right. Oh, oh, Alan, sit down, young man. Sit down. I was talking to myself back in the day. I think I placed too much. I was really nervous about her. Like, I would go into, if you ever go into, well, I don't know if we'll do that again right now. You go into these audition rooms and you see people, you see faces that you're like, oh, I'm going against him. I'm going against him.
Yeah.
It's going to be who is supposed to get it's going to get it. I think that's one of the things you find early on as an actor is meant to be. When you don't get a job, you console yourself with meant to be. But it's meant to be who gets the role. I've been an auditioner casting something, and it's weird how some person you're like, wow, they're really good. They're really good. It's not their role. It's that person's, who might not even be as good. It's not their fault. It's just, that's the person. It just kind of happens. So try to hold on to that. Everybody has their own timing in this business. You're not going to, it's the easiest thing to do, and everybody does it. You watch other actors and go, you can even hold grudges. You see them in other stuff. Oh, I hate that actor. Why?
Yeah.
They got that role I wanted instead. Like, that person's probably could be a very good friend to you. Maybe the two of you could make something together one day. Like, don't create enemies where there shouldn't be, there aren't enemies. We're all in this together. And if you compare yourself to other people, you're going to just drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
That is the best advice and the hardest advice to hold on to, because when you have to have ambition and drive and all of that to keep ramming your head against the same wall, knowing one day it's going to crumble and you'll step through to see a bigger, stronger wall. That what you have to then find a way through as well. But don't put that energy into blaming others for why something didn't happen. Work on yourself. Be the best you can be. If you got some downtime, maybe redo the Hagen. Stay sharp.
Exactly. To bring it full circle. Take a note from your page. That's great. Well, I think those are perfect words of wisdom to end this little chat on. Thank you again for your time, and congrats on the new series. Everyone out there, coming to Syfy January 27th. So keep your eyes out for that, and stay well. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, man. Bye.